Yes, we are back again for more Williams Road to Glory. I mean, that's what we do over here. That's the main staple of the channel. And today we're here for the Canadian Grand Prix. If you guys missed the previous episode at Baku with the world's shortest intro, at least on my channel anyway, in terms of my videos, then go check it out. I'll leave a link up in the top right. But yeah, today we're here at Canada and it's looking like we could be title contenders this season. We've kind of got through the rocky phase at the start of the season. And now we've had a few upgrades onto the car. Now we're approaching the midway point. We look like we could challenge for the championship this year. So I wonder if we could do it. So if you guys are excited for that journey, then leave a like, subscribe for more content, guys, and we're going to see how this goes. So let's jump into the Canadian Grand Prix and let's see if we can try and score some more decent points here today. Now we jump into the weather forecast, and this weekend we have a bit of rain for qualifying. The rest of the weekend though should be dry. Then looking at the progression chart, Mercedes bring more upgrades and put more space between themselves and the rest of their rivals. And we're still chilling in the kind of midfield battle, but a bit of separation starting to happen there with Ferrari and Aston Martin kind of joining Red Bull up the sharp end. We've got two upgrades on the way, and if they both arrive, we should draw level with Renault, Alpine and McLaren, and we're going to try and add some more at the end of this episode. With that said though, we jump into practice. The first part of the weekend, of course, FP1, getting the car shaken down and up to speed. And I've got to say, Canada, if you guys don't know by now, it's a track I really enjoy. It's good fun, and I've always had pretty good pace around here in the past, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing if we can deliver here today. Now, overall, I've got to say, the car is starting to feel good now, and I mentioned it at the intro, we could be title contenders here because we're starting to reach a point and a performance level now which is very good and very consistent. And you saw that after practice we scored about 750 R&D points, no change to the driver acclaim. We then move into Q1, and as we saw at the start of the video, we have got some rain, so we're going to be in the wet here today as we get a nice little close-up shot there of the nose of our Williams car. We jump into Q1, kicking off the session with the intermediate tyres, of course, and currently behind a bit of traffic, but it's not going to be too much of an issue for us as we end our first timed lap. We're going to go P4, so not bad, already pretty decent, pretty high up, and in fairness it was a strong banker. We then got past Matsushita, we kept on pushing for a second lap, and this time I was 3.5 tenths up as we head into the final chicane here, trying to be aggressive over the curbs and to maximise the lap time. You can see here we gain a bit more, and the delta now pretty much 4.5 tenths up as we cross the line and go P2 just behind Lewis, and that would have been enough to comfortably get into Q2, but unfortunately the track dried out, and the track wasn't fully rubbered in yet, and I was the last car on track, but it felt so non-grippy for me. I didn't really like the grip. The car felt all over the place, and I was really struggling with the balance of the car. And I am going to be the last one to cross the line, and eventually you'll see here I am up by nearly 10 seconds, of course. Currently P19. We have to improve, and we cross the line, and we just scrape out and make it out of Q1 as we finish in P14. So a bit of a disappointing lap there, but I really struggled compared to the AI to switch the dry tyres on and make them work. Russell through in P11 for Q2, so that's good to know. Both cars out of Q1, which is really good. We then move into Q2, and you can see there it was actually a very good banker lap, but then I made a bit of an error at the hairpin, running in way too hot. Eventually then cutting to the end of the lap, we got a nice tow from the Ferrari all the way down the back straight. We go to P7 and inside the top 10, and currently just ahead of Russell, and as it stands we're in Q3. We then cut on to my second attempt, another fresh set of soft tyres in the car, and you can see here we're about a tenth up. Not a big margin, the first two sectors were perfect, but this time we just make sure to keep it nice and tidy through the hairpin. You can see we gained so much lap time through there, and then eventually that is going to result in a lap time improvement of about 3 tenths, losing a little bit on the exit of the final chicane, and we're going to cross the line and improve by 2.5 tenths, but that will be enough to jump from P11 to P6, and that should see us comfortably through now into Q3 as we get confirmation of that right now. And Russell unfortunately out in P14, so there's your lot for Q2. Worth noting Hamilton qualifying on mediums in third place as Bottas leads the way with 1 minute 6.7, and yeah, pretty much only the top three able to crack to the 106s as we head into Q3. Now this was my first lap, my banker lap, and in fairness it was actually pretty good. I made a bit of a mess of the final chicane there, running a bit too hot and ruined my line, so I have lost a bit of momentum, but we crossed the line and set up 1 minute 6.9, so my best lap of the weekend to go P3 just behind the two Mercedes cars. But we're now going to skip onto my best lapping Q3, my final attempt, and we're going to go for a full lap of Canada, and we're going to see exactly what we can do. Now, unfortunately, that was a bit of a shame. We crunched the wall because we were on for another at least half, maybe an extra tenth out of their, the corner exit momentum alone. But ultimately, it wouldn't have made a difference. We finished in 3rd place, and we did improve even with that little incident, and we set a 1 minute 6.8. Pierre Gasly actually beat Verstappen, so Verstappen going slower in Q3 than he went in Q2. Meanwhile, Bottas and Hamilton are on a different planet in terms of pace. They're in the low 106s. Their car is so fast, and if we're going to beat them this year, we need to improve and we need to develop fast. But yeah, overall, that's it for qualifying. We bag a really strong P3, and we're going to hopefully try and push forward in the race and try and gain a few more places. After qualifying, we outscored Verstappen in our rivalry, and also we do gain a bit of a claim as we're so close now, as you'll see, to level 13. But guys, that's going to be it for qualifying here today. We're now going to move into the race for the Canadian Grand Prix.
Bonjour! It's time once again to go racing here in Montreal, the 2nd largest French-speaking city in the world, and home since 1978 to the Canadian Grand Prix. If you want flat-out racing, you've come to the right place this weekend, as it's full throttle for 59% of this 2.7-mile circuit, peaking at around 210 miles per hour going into the final chicane. But that speed requires discipline, and there are more than a few close walls here just waiting to punish drivers with a heavy right foot. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Martinez, Gasly, Max Verstappen, and Vettel, Kvyat, Stroll, Perez, and Carlos Sainz, Ricciardo, Albon, Charles Leclerc, and Russell, Norris, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen, and Roman Grosjean, Matsushita, and Esteban Ocon rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing, as we head to trackside for today's race.
Okay, here we go then. It's time for the race at Canada. Now, we start, of course, from P3. Good qualifying yesterday. Strategy-wise, soft, medium, soft. It's going to be the best way to go around here. 2-stop is definitely the stronger strategy. And fuel-wise, 0.8. No rain expected, so let's jump into it. Short intro, let's get racing. Okay, let's see if we can challenge the Mercs here. Lights are on for the Canadian Grand Prix. Lights out, and away we go. It's a flyer of a start from Hamilton. Gasly gets off pretty well as well to our right. We're going to have to try and keep him behind us if possible. Heading into turn 2, we're going to try and get ahead of Gasly, which we do. Nicely done. Into the chicane. There we go. Getting ahead and staying ahead of Pierre. Hamilton taking the lead on mediums. Big surprise, Bottas getting a poor start. Not so much of a surprise. Let's see how we perform then. The first couple of laps, AI are going to be absolutely flat out with engine power. You can see Gasly here trying to challenge. We're going to have to go defensive into the chicane. Not ideal. It's going to cost me a lot of time to Valtteri Bottas. I think we should be able to stay ahead though. Into the chicane, which we do. Going to try and pick up a late apex and traction out of there. Nice, 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 nice. That's exactly what we want. Yellow flag behind. Looks like it might just be traffic. And we're going to hold on to P3. So a decent start, nothing spectacular. But it helps that Hamilton is starting on mediums and he's going to be out front. It means Bottas won't be able to just run away on softs. So we might have a race on our hands. We're about to find out as we run out of DRS. Right, let's push on. Lap 1 done and dusted. So DRS is now enabled, as you can see. We've got DRS on Valtteri. Going to try and stay within a second here. We've got Gasly with us. I'm kind of dragging him along. And then Verstappen behind Gasly. He's running in P5. So at the moment, Verstappen would lose the championship lead to Hamilton, who's leading up front. So Lewis looking pretty strong. Meanwhile, we should be able to stay ahead of Bottas in the Drivers' Championship with this result. Obviously, I'm planning on hopefully finishing ahead of Valtteri, if possible. But for now, I've got to try and drop Gasly out of DRS range if possible here, so that's what I'm trying to work on. But it's going to be tough. Lewis's pace is absolutely insane. He's well in control of this race. Also, Gasly, to be fair, good pace. He's hanging in there as I matched my personal best. 2 laps in a row now. We've done purple sector 3, of course. That's because I've got the DRS on Bottas. I feel like I could pass him soon. I'm trying to see if he runs out of DRS so I can tell that he's, turn his engine down a little bit. But for now, he's still got some good straight line speed. Gasly is still hanging on to the DRS though. This might be the lap. I get Bottas. A little bit closer. Through here. Just got to try and be close for the back straight. Gasly is also pretty close. He's really putting some pressure on right now. Verstappen can't get near us, which is very interesting. So Gasly running a fantastic race for AlphaTauri. Trying to get some traction down there. We actually get a great exit. We drop Gasly completely, and now here we go with the DRS. Can we get Bottas here for P2? We're going to hit the DRS and drain it to get ahead, which we do. Trying to cut the chicane if possible. And there we go, up into P2. Nice move. Going to try and hold on to that overtake. Let's see if we can re-link Hamilton. We probably won't because those mediums are probably going to start coming into their own now. But we'll try and have a little push and see what happens. Maybe Bottas can battle with Gasly or something. Looking at my tyre wear, I reckon one more lap. I'll try and squeeze one more out just to make it a little bit easier for us. Bottas and Gasly pit those, so we're going to push here to make sure we stay ahead and don't get undercut. So big in lap here. Okay, let's pit then and get a set of medium tyres onto the car. This is going to be an undercut attempt on Hamilton. Into the pit lane. Nice. Good entry. I'm going to go second gear to save fuel rather than save ERS. If you want to save ERS, then I recommend pitting and using first gear. That will help you charge more battery, but you won't save any fuel. So here we go, onto the track. Away we go, 2.4. Not spectacular, but good enough. And I think we should be fine. Yeah, we're fine. We've actually gained a lot. Bottas must have been held or hit traffic or something, because we're comfortably ahead of Valtteri and even more further ahead than Verstappen, who's been stuck in traffic. So we've gained quite a bit there. Let's see if we can use the fresh rubber to stay ahead of Bottas and keep him outside the 1 second window, and then close up to Lewis as well. That'd be nice. Stroll into the pits then. So we'll get back our second place. Our net P2. Bottas trying to close the gap, but he's not close enough right now. Let's see if we can try and go quicker than Lewis, because at the minute Lewis is still running at a pretty strong pace. Through the Wall of Champions, let's see what this lap is. Will it be a fastest lap? Not quite sure. Not quite. But into the 109s. Good enough for me. Let's see if we can keep this pace up for the next few laps. The gap is starting to come down to Lewis now, which indicates he's probably starting to struggle on his tyres a bit. We're going to set another personal best here, just slightly quicker. Gap to Lewis now, inside 17 seconds, which is, I believe, just enough so that I can be ahead of him. Bottas right now would be behind Lewis once he eventually pits. So we need a bit more. There we go, Hamilton finally pits. He's onto the soft tyre. A bit earlier than I expected, actually, which indicates he could maybe go back onto the medium later on, possibly. That's a very early stop, actually, now I think about it. Let's see if we're ahead, though. It's going to be close. Down towards turn 1. Lewis rejoining the track right now. And we are just ahead, but he's going to have such a big advantage on those soft tyres. It's not even going to be close. And he'll probably get by pretty quickly, if I'm being honest. Let's just try and keep him at bay for as long as possible. This could be the area, though. This is my worst point of the track, and the AI's strongest one is this traction zone right here. Do I even want to keep Lewis behind realistically? I don't think I do. I'm going to let him just crack on with it. I'm going to try and stay within DRS if I can. If not, no big deal. He will lose his tyres quite quickly, so hopefully we'll try and reel him back in a few laps' time. Let's just try and stay within DRS as long as possible. Oh boy. There it is. Safety car deployed for Lance Stroll. Can we get a set of mediums to the end? I don't have a set of mediums actually. I've got to go hards. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna stay on these, to be honest. No point. Might as well just stick to the original strategy. No need to panic. I've got a fresh set of softs which we can use later on. So we'll just get through the safety car phase. At this point, I've just got to laugh. The safety car is definitely bugged. Like, we get one every single race now. Don't get me wrong, I'm quite happy that you get to see the brand new red safety car mod, but even still, we literally have had a safety car, I think, every race this season except for, I think it was Monaco, and even last season as well, we had a race in pretty much 20 out of the 22 or 23 races. Like, it's actually ridiculous how many safety cars we get. It's clearly a bug. It has to be. You either get too many or you get none. Okay, here we go. Safety car restart. Safety car pulling away. Tyres are a bit cold, but that's okay. We're going to just try and get a bit of movement into these on the back straight. That's what we're waiting for, because this is the best way to warm your tyres up. Just wait to the very end for the actual restart, and you can get some nice temperature in. As you can see here. That's close up to Lewis. Away we go for the restart. Actually let him pull away a bit too much there, but that's okay. That's absolutely fine. We haven't lost out to the cars behind, so let's crack on with this restart and let's try and stick with Lewis as long as possible. We don't have any fresh soft tyres remaining, so the next stint will be on a used set. So we're going to have to probably go a bit longer on this stint. So it's a good thing we went one more lap on the first stint, and it's a good thing we've had the safety car right now in these mediums, because it means I should be able to get the stint out a little bit longer. So let's push. DRS enabled this lap, and we've put a shift in. I've managed to get the gap to Bottas, so we can now go back to where we were before the safety car. Hamilton hasn't pulled away that much. His soft tyres won't be that fresh anymore, so let's see if we can try and keep the gap and stop him from going too far, so that we can maybe have a chance of winning this race on the soft tyre. Hamilton pits. So he's going to pit before us, which definitely means he's going back for the medium. Maybe even the hard tyre. Gasly in there as well. Okay, Hamilton onto mediums. Hamilton's going to feed out in a lot of traffic because of that safety car. The field spread wouldn't have occurred too much. So he's going to be stuck in some traffic here. So this could be a good phase for us. We take the lead of the race. I'm going to try and push now and do the best possible pace I can, because this could be really, really important. These next few laps could be race crucial. We could potentially undercut Lewis. It depends where he rejoins, but this could be important for us. So far, it's been a horrible lap. Oh, Bottas pits. That's interesting. So he's going to go for another set of mediums as well. This strategy offset could be the one for us, so I'm definitely going to try and make this work. Okay, here we go. We're going to pit now. Draining the ERS. Using the fuel. Hamilton's so fast. I don't think we're going to beat him here today. He's so consistently rapid, especially on his mediums. Slow it down. Nice. Good entry. I'm not too concerned about fuel. I want to try and get some of the ERS back that we used. We're going to box for a used set of soft tyres, which we should be able to get to the end. Now the fuel's burned off a little bit. Track conditions are better. Away we go, 2.5 stop. Bottas is just past Kvyat. Here he goes across the start finish. It's going to be close, this one. Really close. But I think we're going to be behind. Yes, we are. We're behind in quite a bit of traffic, actually. We're going to be stuck behind both Alpha Tauris, which is not what I had in mind. The Ferrari trying to get back up the inside of Verstappen, sorry. Verstappen trying to get back up the inside. We've actually lost out quite a bit there. I thought my pace was better than that, but clearly I've been caught napping. So let's see if we can get past Kvyat. It's going to be hard to get past these Alpha Tauris. We all know what they're like on the straight. Look at the grip though. That is unbelievable. We're going to have to send it on Kvyat here for sure. You can see he just pulls away on the straight. Down the inside we go. Getting it slowed down. Nicely done. Back away we go. Right, let's go chase down Gasly. Or will Gasly appear? I don't think he has to. I think he's already done his stop. So Gasly is for actual net position, I believe. So we're actually not even on the podium right now. Let's get Kvyat pits. We've got work to do here. Gasly just running away on the straight. AlphaTauri is pretty insane. Obviously, I'm not going to waste my engine mode trying to get by on that straight. We need to use the soft tyres and make a move in a bit of an unorthodox and a bit of a different place. Fast lap from us. So hopefully we'll get the extra point. I'm going to try and pass Gasly somewhere different though, because it's not going to happen in the usual place, I don't think, unless I use absolutely everything and I'm right on his gearbox out of the hairpin, which I doubt I will be. Oh, Perez out of the race. Is that a safety car? Virtual safety car. Both Aston Martin Racing points out of the race here today. That is a disappointing one for the home team. Wow. Good restart. Nicely done. Struggling on tyres already here. Rear traction is not great. Partly setup related. I think we're struggling with the oversteer. I can't see myself passing Gasly right now. This is the worst possible scenario. Gasly getting DRS and slipstream off another car. That's going to make the AlphaTauri just a cruise missile on the straight. It's going to be so tough to find a way through here. Looks like he's pretty decent actually on the straight through there before the hairpin, but I'm right in his gearbox. This is exactly what I needed if I was going to ever have a chance of getting by. This is the only way to do it. But look at this. Look at the AlphaTauri go on the straight. I can't get anything on him. I'm going to back off early. Gasly makes a mistake. Contact. Oh no. That's game over for us. Wing damage like this at this stage of the race, I don't think we're going to come back from this one. Wow, the AI so stupid, but you saw how fast the AlphaTauri was on the straight there. We just made no dent on the straight whatsoever. I'm going to have to just cut the track here to avoid having an absolute aeroplane crash with somebody. Go on, Seb, go by. Let's go. Oh man, this is bad. Let's push into the pits. I don't think we're scoring points today though. I don't think we're going to have enough laps to recover. It's going to be really, really difficult. We'll try and get something out of this. A little bit cautious into the pit lane. I don't want to lock up. Gasly pits as well, so Pierre must have got some damage in the process. I don't know how, but he must have. Right, let's see how this goes then. He's going to get held actually quite badly by me. He's going to go to the soft tyres. Here we go. Come on, boys. We need a quick stop here. Let's go, fellas. Quick turnover. Nah, it's not going to happen. P15. Where we go. We're going to be almost last. This is a disaster for the Canadian Grand Prix. We're going to be P16. Not what I had in mind. There's Grosjean. We're going to try and get him straight away. Another U set of softs on the car. But yeah, I think this is game over for us. Let's get past Matsushita here. This should be a pretty easy move. Down the inside of the hairpin. Bit of a reckless one, but that's okay. He'll get out of the way anyway, so... There we go, P15, and we've got DRS. Let's just push and give it everything we got. That actually takes away my fastest lap. Hopefully we'll try and get it back though. There we go. Small consolation. But fair play to Gasly, his pace has been insane. Obviously I'm not happy about the incident. And there we go then, Hamilton wins in Canada. That's going to be massive for the championship. And we're going to finish in P15, which is something I did not have in mind at the start of the weekend, at the start of the race, but there you go. That's the way it goes sometimes. And for the first time this season, we failed to finish in the points.
Yet another historic win under their belts. Well done to the team at Mercedes. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
And there we go then, guys. After the race, Lewis Hamilton picks up the win for Mercedes. Bottas finishes in P2, making it a 1-2 for the Black Arrows. Verstappen third, rounding up the podium. Vettel P4 ahead of Ricciardo. Albon 6th ahead of Charles Leclerc. Both McLaren, Sainz and Norris P8 and P9, and Russell scores points for the second race in a row, and he's in P10 here today, so he scores a point for the team. Ocon misses out on the top 10 in P11 along with Gasly and Kvyat, Giovinazzi, myself, Grosjean, Matsushita, Magnussen, with both Aston Martin Racing points out of their home Grand Prix. We look at the driver standings and we drop down to 4th place. Bottas overtakes us. The gap to the top grows to 40 points as Hamilton takes the lead away from Max Verstappen. So for the first time this season we have a brand new leader, and yeah, things are getting a bit more interesting heading into the midway point of the season. We then look at the constructors and we remain in 3rd place, still comfortably ahead of McLaren, Ferrari and AlphaTauri, but still Mercedes out front, pretty clear for Red Bull now. And yeah, we need to try and put some work in and put some upgrades on to try and get closer. So let's jump into the main menu and let's see if we can try and improve our car. Well, after the race, Verstappen does outscore us here today. An extra point goes his way and the rivalry gets a bit closer as 3 points separate us right now. In terms of reclaim after that race, we are still somehow going to level up to level 13 even though we didn't score any points, which is quite interesting. But anyway, let's move into the upgrades. Okay then, so we've got a few things to get through. We do have an invitational event on the 19th, which I am going to skip as I don't really need the acclaim, to be honest with you, and I'm quite happy to just move on and push on. In terms of upgrades, we've got one on the 19th and one on the 23rd. We're going to go ahead and add some more to that right now with the 1200 points that we have. So looking at our options, I am tempted to go for a chassis upgrade. Having said that, we don't really have enough points, so I might actually hold off. I think. Let me see. When are we due? We're due some R&D points on the 22nd. So I'm actually going to hold off until the 22nd. So let's skip ahead. Let's see if the additional Cascade winglets on the 19th arrive first and foremost. So good news, on the 22nd the upgrade has arrived, the Cascade winglets, and we can now spend our R&D points on a major upgrade for the chassis. So we're going to go ahead and purchase an hydraulics upgrade, and hopefully that will help us out. I am tempted to rush it, to be honest with you, but the failure chance is still quite high. So I'm just going to go standard for now because it's an expensive upgrade. I don't want it to fail. We need all the help we can get, and that will leave us with one more upgrade pending on the 23rd for the ERS cooling. And I can tell you the upgrade has arrived, so we're all good to go. We're ready for the next race in Paul Ricard, round 10 of the season as we approach the halfway stage. But that is going to be it from me here today. If you guys enjoyed the video, then leave a like. It really helps me out. Subscribe for more daily F1 content on the channel as we're close to 60,000. And as always, a big thank you to the members of the channel for supporting me. And finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care, and it's goodbye from me.